Army Regulation 621-202, Education, Army, Educational Incentives and Entitlements. This is Rapid Action Revision RAR, issue date 6 September 2011, Headquarters Department of Army, Washington, D.C., 3rd of February 2002. 1992, Summary of the change. Army Regulation 621-202 of the Army Educational Incentive Entitlement of the Rapid Action Revision dated in 6 September 2011. Implementation. Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Repeal Act of 2010 deleting all reference and separation from homosexual contact, homosexuality deleted from the portions of Table 1. Table 2.1. Make administrative changes. Appendix A. Corrected publication title marked and substituted publication marked and canceled. Obsolete for the marked. Corrected for the title mark. Glossary. Detailed use of acronyms. Corrected abbreviations. Prescribed Army Records Management Declassification Agency. The Headquarters Department of the Army, Washington, 3rd of February 1992. Army Regulation 621-202, effective date the 2nd of March 1992. Education, all Army educational incentives and entitlements are in the order of Secretary of the Army Raymond T. Ordinario, the General United States Army, the Chief of Office Joyce E. Morrow, the Administrative Assistant to the Secretary of the Army. The history of the publication of the Rapid Action Revision, the RAR. The RAR is effective for the September of 2011. The portion affected by the RAR are listed on the summary of the change. Summary of the regulation establishes references to educational incentives and entitlements authorized by the public that provides Army unique policies, responsibility, procedures governing these educational benefits for the soldier and former soldiers in the active Army. This regulation applies to the active Army and Army National Guard, Army National Guard of the United States, the Army Reserve, and otherwise stated. Proponent, exponent, authority, the proponent, agency of the regulation of the Deputy Chief of Staff, Garrison 1, for the proponent of the authority to the approve of the expectations of waivers regulation of the consistent for the controlling of law regulation. Proponent for the may delegate the approval authority in writing to the division of the chief within the proponent agencies and the directing reporting of the field operating agencies in the correct aid of colonel or the civilian equivalent. Activities may request for the waiver of the regulation for the providing of the justification that includes but full analysis of the expected activity benefits, but may include the formal review of the activity senior legal officer. All waivers of the request for the will be endorsed by the commander and senior leader requesting activity forward for their higher headquarters. For the policy proponent, refer to the AR 2530 for the specific guidance Army management control process. The regulation contains the internal controls provisions in accordance to the AR 11.2 for the does not identify the key management controls that must be evaluated. Supplementation of the regulation and establishment command local forms and prohibited without the approval of the Deputy Chief of Staff of Garrison 1 DAPE MPA. Washington, D.C., 2013-10-0300. Suggested improvements. Users invited as components for suggested improvements to DA Form 2028 recommendations and then changes of the publication blank form directly to the commander of the U.S. Human Resources of the Command, the TAPCE PDE Alexander, Virginia, 22331047. The distribution is the regulation is available with electronic media and is intended for the command levels of C and D for the active Army, Army National Guard for the United States, and Army Reserve. Contents: Chapter 1, Introduction, Reference and Explanation, Abbreviation of Terms, Responsibility. Chapter 2, the Montgomery GI Bill and the Army College Fund and the conversions of the Montgomery GI Bill and the authority, the objective, eligibility, exclusions, duration, eligibility, extension of eligibility, processing, monetary GI Bills, eligibles and basic benefits, veterans benefits and programs, Improving Act of 1988, Public Law 10689, and service for use of eligibility application for the benefits. Section 2, the Army College Fund, authority, objectives, eligibility, maximum both monthly benefits, expiration of benefits, Army College eligibility exclusions, processing, Army College Fund eligibilities, conversion. Section 3, conversion of the Chapter 34 Vietnam era GI Bill eligible for the Montgomery GI Bill, authority, entitlement, eligibility, original entitlement, eligibility for conversion benefits, expiration of the benefits, application for the benefits. Chapter 3, loan repayment program, Authority Eligibility Processing Loan Repayment Program Eligibility Student Loan Deferment Loans and Default Entitlement Special Conditions Processing Payments resulting of discrepancy. Chapter 4 Post-Vietnam Era Veterans Education Assistance Program Authority Eligibility Duration Eligibility Extension for the Eligibility Enrollment necessary to establish the eligibility, participation, entitlement, suspension of soldier contributions, and disenrollment of the refunds, authorized training, and application procedures. Chapter 5 the Army College Fund for the fiscal years of 82 through 85 Authority Eligibility Enrollment Entitlement Duration Eligibility Entitlements Forfeiting Army College Fuel Fund and Eligibility Distribution Duration of the Monthly Benefits Expiration of the Benefits and Application Procedures. Chapter 6 Incentive Programs the FY79 Incentive Test 8 FY81 DoD Educational Assistance Test. Appendix A, reference to Appendix B, Army College Fund FY82 and FY80 through 85 skills effective date of the military occupational specialty table, table lists, and figure list glossary. Chapter 1 Introduction. The 1.1 Purpose. The regulation that prescribes the Army unique policy, responsibility, procedure for the administrative of various veterans education programs and education incentives authorized by law. Provided information. Chapter 30, Title 30A of the U.S. Standard Code. The Chapter 30 U.S. Standard Code. Chapter 30 All Volunteers Force. The Educational Assistance Program referred to as the Montgomery GI Bill, the MGMI Bill, MGMI B Bill or B, a loan repayment program, the LRP loan repayment, Title 38 U.S. Standard Code, Chapter 32, Post-Vietnam Era Veterans Educational Assistance HEAP, Army College Funds, AACF, the fiscal years of FY79 to FY81 Department of Defense Test Incentive Programs does not provide information on the Title 10 U.S. Standard Code, Chapter 106, the Reserve GI Bill. The provisions are found in the AR 135-7. 1.2 reference required related publications prescribed reference forms are listed in Appendix A. 1/3 expiration of abbreviations of the term abbreviation special terms used in the regulation are explained in the glossary. 1.4 responsibility Deputy Chief of Staff Garrison 1 DC. The Deputy Chief of Staff Garrison 1 will establish policies and budget requirements. Chapter Chief Public Affairs. The Chief Public Affairs will communicate maximum information concerning educational incentives and entitlements to the soldiers. C. The Chief of Chaplains. The Chief of Chaplains will provide the consolation of the Army continuing educational system and as a standard Montgomery GI Bill briefing to giving to eligible military GI Bill enrollees, completing the distributing of the Department of Defense 236 through 2366, the Montgomery GI Bill of 1984 for eligible the chaplains and attending the chaplain's basic course. The decision to enroll must be made by the individual soldier within the first 3 days of active duty. The Department of Defense of the form the 2366 is available for the normal publication channels of the commander of the U.S. Army Human Resource Command. The commanding general of the Human Resource Command will be the system manager if for the programs listed in regulation maintain pertinent data of the enlisted master file, official master file for the programs listed in the regulation, provide the day-to-day management of the Montgomery GI Bill, the ACF, Army College Fund, Veterans Education Assistance Program, Loan Repayment Program, and the Test Incentive Programs. Establish a system corrective to verify the education incentive entitlements data intended to as corrected by the Army and the Defense Manpower Sentence, the Department of Veterans Affairs, responded to the inquiries pertinent to the programs, the regulation of the Army Agency, the DMDC, VA, and the Department of Defense Financial Institution, Individual Soldiers, Veterans Congress provided the training of the reference materials, installation, Army Educational Center, the personnel, U.S. Army Recruiting Command, that provided the subject matter experts of the VA, the Department of Defense, DMDC, the USAREC, participate in the active member of the policy formulation and the process. The Department of Defense, the Defense Financial Accounting Services will distribute the loan repayment program payments to the financial institutions will authorized by the Human Resource Center. Collecting forward Montgomery GI Bill and automatically monthly reductions to the U.S. Treasury. Collecting the forward of the VAE Veteran Education Assistance Program monthly allowance to the Veteran Affairs. Result, all financial problems regarding the Montgomery GI Bill reduction to the Veterans Affairs Assistance Program, allotment deductions, and loan repayment disbursable payments. The Commanding General of the U.S. Army Training Doctrine and the Commanding General of the TRADOC will provide monthly Montgomery GI Bill loan repayment enrollments reports to the Deputy Chief of Staff Garrison 1, develop, maintain, and provide the consolation of the Army education. Sorry, the ACE is as standard at Montgomery GI Bill performing given at a reception battalions to eligible Montgomery GI Bill trainees. The trainee of the Army Education Center counselors in delivery preparation for the Montgomery Bill in standardized briefing, completing the distribution of the Department of Defense 2366. The reception battalions officer basic course. The decision to disenroll must be made in the individual soldiers within 3 days of the AD. Maintaining automated information electronic delivery for the passing of information to the USAREC. Commanding General, U.S. Army Recruiting Command. The Commanding General of the U.S. Army Recruiting Command will ensure the accuracy and educational incentives entitlements programs initiated by the recruiting station of the Military Enhancement Processing Station, MEPS. Maintaining the automated information electronic data delivery system passing for the information of the TRADOC U.S. Military Entrance Processing Command Personal Information System Command provided the read-only the Human Resource Center for the Soldiers accession data that related to the educational entitlements incentives for the resolve of discrepancy data and the information regarding the educational incentives. The resolution occurs at the reception battalion of the U.S. Army Recruiting Command liaison non-commissioned officer in charge. 5. The answer incurs investigation, allegation, recruiting improprieties, errors, and concerns of the educational enlistments incentives coordinated with the human resource partner, the Army, the ACE program related advertising before release, ensuring the recruiters and the Army guidance counselors and through the knowledgeable all educational enlistments incentive programs initiate the Department of Defense 2363 for all soldiers processing through MEPS and the AD on the AD day, identifying the soldiers who contract with the AC Army the ACF and the loan repayment entitlements, complete the Montgomery GI Bill enrollment disenrollment paperwork for them. Assist the loan repayment enrollees securing the military deferment from the institution bank holding of their loan. See the Figure 1-1 sample letter that can be sent to the lending institution. The American Lending Company of 100 Main Street, anywhere, USR 12345-0000. Dear loan manager, this informs you that I am serving in the U.S. Army. I understand the eligible military deferment of my student loans, requesting to provide that me with the forms necessary to apply for the deferment. May you respond to the permanent address listed below, and I can provide my current events. Early Lee Johnson, Private U.S. Army, security number 123456789, loan account number, Figure 1, sample loan deferment letter. Commanders, Army commands, the commander, Army commands will complete to distribute the Department of Defense Form 2366 for eligible students who have not processed for the reception battalion or the OBC. The soldiers are individuals who are completed with the training with the reverse status and assigned directly to duty station. The decision to disenrollment must be made to individual soldiers within the first 3 days of the AD. The Commandment Academy Health Services, the Commandment of the HAS Academy Health Service will provide consultation for the ACS standard MGI bill, MGIB bill, briefing the eligible and Montgomery eligibility enrollees. The complete distribution of the Department of Defense 2366 for eligible soldiers. Decision to disenroll must be made by the individual soldiers within the first 3 days of the AD. At educational, the service of the officers, the ESOs will maintain current educational benefits regulation and other related references. Maintain sufficient stock to distribute the VA Form 1990. Application for educational benefits. The VA Form 1999 is available for the normal Army publication supply channels, providing counseling and educational entitlements during the processing and every new permanent duty station. Soldiers will carry out the necessary documentation outlining the actual education entitlements for the counselor. This counseling includes reviewing the portions of the enlisted contract with the related documents regarding educational benefits. 4. Provide needed counseling to all soldiers inquiring regarding educational entitlements, conducting educational benefits pertaining to sessions twice a year in the counseling staff, conducting mandatory education benefits counseling. The soldiers separating the Army is required in Section 1046, Title 10, U.S. Standard Code 1046, no later than 150 days before the separation of the counselor activity. It advises soldiers, but not authority, to make the benefit determination. The VA, the administrator of the program, is responsible for establishing dollar amounts. Recorded the following concession statement: the DA 669, the Army Continuing Educational System, the ACE's record after completion mandatory counseling in accordance with Section 1046, Title 10, U.S. Standard Code, mandatory benefits counseling. I have received individual counseling concerning my veterans of education educational benefits requiring the soldier's signature and attesting to the receipt of the counseling. The following procedure outlined in AR 62215, Chapter 2, the disposition DA Form 669, the requirements. Commander installation in and out of the process center. The commander installation in and out of the process center will provide educational copy with the DA Form 3286-67 statement understanding Army policy, and when appropriate, the DA Form 328666 statement understanding the United States incentive enlistment programs. These forms include the review of the educational incentive entitlement. The copy will be kept in the DA Form 669. The reference throughout the soldier's career. If the copy is missing, the ESO can request a personal service center another copy of the issuing of the educational release. Additional responsibility. The additional responsibility of the DM, DCVA, and the Army will be described in the mutually enacted interagency agreement. Chapter 2, the Montgomery Bill and the Army College Fund and the conversions.